Welcome to Recipes Recommended. Today, our recommendation spaghetti and meatballs, or more specifically, Bucatini and 1 Giant Meatball, is loosely inspired by Chef John from Food Wishes. His channel is a big inspiration of ours, and we highly suggest you check him out. I'll add a link to his channel in the description below. The first step in any great meatball, meatloaf, and many a burger recipe is the panade, a simple combination typically of stale white sandwich bread and milk, but can be any combination of liquid and starch. The panade keeps the protein in the meat from shrinking and tightening during cooking and keeping the meat moist and supple. With the panade done, all we need to do prep-wise is to chop a handful of Italian parsley and beat a couple eggs. We then take a pound each of 85% lean ground beef and pork, which are combined using a couple forks to avoid overworking the meat. To that, the typical dried spices are added, then the eggs, oil, Parmesan cheese, parsley, and finally the panade. After mixing again with the forks, the meat is covered with plastic and refrigerated for at least an hour. The cold will help with forming the meatballs later. Although a jarred sauce is totally fine to use here, I usually have all the ingredients for a great and easy to make marinara in my pantry. A can of crushed tomatoes, onion and garlic, olive oil, dried oregano, salt, and tomato paste. After mincing the garlic and dicing the onion, we heat some olive oil over medium heat in a skillet. You can check that the oil is hot enough when you see it shimmer, or you can do what I usually do by hovering your palm slightly over the oil. If it's hot, you're ready to add your onions. Sweat down the diced onions for a few minutes. Along with the dried oregano and some salt, add a good squeeze of tomato paste, or half one of those small cans is enough. Technically, I think I use about a tablespoon or so. Cook until you start to see a slight fond form on the bottom of the pan. Cook the minced garlic until fragrant, about 30 seconds to a minute, and finally pour in the can of crushed tomatoes, making sure to scrape up the fond with a wooden spoon. Stir to combine and lower the burner to medium-low, just maintaining a simmer. After the meatballs have chilled out in the fridge for long enough, take them out and set your oven to 400 degrees. With wet hands, form 4 even meatballs from the mixture. Arrange each one in a high-walled pan like a Dutch oven, and then cook them for about 45 minutes. The internal temperature should read about 160 degrees. Now it's time to plate up. I like to fancy up my spaghetti and meatballs by serving bucatini instead of spaghetti, which has a better texture in my opinion, but it's up to you how you serve your gigantic meatball, which I hope you do. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll also be publishing a corresponding blog post with more of my thoughts and experience making this recipe. Again, you can find that on our website, recipesrecommended.com. Please don't forget, great minds eat alike.